Yeah, because it said to go live, and when you give people a time scale and all, then you've got to stick with it, dude, whether you're eating your hoops or not. You know, choke on your hoops. Go on, choke on them. I just have to fix this typo. You say hello to everybody.
Oh, it's like I forget there's like a delay, so it's already
It's already live. So what you're saying now, they're already hearing. You're just not hearing you say it.
Yeah, I realise that.
That's how science works.
I will get used to this live streaming thing at some point. It looks cool though.
It doesn't it? Everyone's telling me that we.
There's a big you and a little you.
Well, I'm going to kill a little me in a minute. You see, this is the weird thing about Zoom and the fact that I can't just have you, but with the art of science, I can do this. Where do you see this? Watch and learn, my young Padawan.
I'm excited.
Well, don't get that excited. I mean, it's not that exciting. But look, and you did now. Again, with you and brains and time and stuff, it'll take a few seconds.
Yes.
But look,
go on.
Should be fixed now.
It's not. Oh, there it is. You've gone.
You see, just like that.
Just like that.
Is that not class? Everyone is basically saying, it's really nice for you to bring Warlord onto We Gamers and show them how to do live broadcasts in the short space of time you've been doing them. You've developed and learnt so much, and yet they've been going for months, and really, yeah. So
how rude?
No, I think they meant it in a nice way.
Sure.
What they were really saying, of course, is that because of the high quality broadcast, they get a much better look at you.
I feel like this is all just made up.
We only make up about the 50% of our news, as opposed to the real news, which is all made up.
I'm trying to get logged into Facebook so I can share the YouTube thing.
Don't do that. It's not that exciting. I mean, at the end of the day, it is just you and me.
Well, I think it's exciting. So other people are now forced to think it's exciting because I've shared it to Facebook.
You're telling them it's exciting.
I'm telling them it's exciting, just how other people tell me their dinner's exciting.
Look what I had in the park today.
That is an immediate unfollow from me, though. Like anybody on my Facebook sort of friends portfolio, if anybody posts their dinner, they get one strike. The second dinner, that's it. It's done. Yeah. Unfollowed. I don't want to hear from you on Facebook again.
I kind of can see through it. If you know that person normally has the culinary skills of beans and toast, and they've now done like chicken chasseur, I'm like, fair play. I can respect the effort and skill that you're developing. If the full week it's still chicken chasseur, I'm kind of like, really?
What? Dude, it's the beans on toast posts that I can't deal with. Like,
that I don't get.
You had beans on toast.
Yeah, it's almost as it's almost as bad as the oh no, worst day ever. ... Really? I didn't know that I knew that many teenagers unfollow.
That yeah, I was gonna say that also qualifies for an unfollow. In fact, largely anything that's not toy soldier related gets unfollowed.
Yeah.
But that's that's just me. When I go on Facebook, I want to see like happy things I can be excited about, not things I'm going to be annoyed and frustrated at.
Then what I suggest you do is this evening you should really log in and watch Warlord's live Twitch feed. There's
I'm not sure if that was a guarded barb or
no, there was no. That was a very subtle segue to a plug for the fact that you've got your Twitch this evening. You see, and if you want to watch something happy, you should watch your own episodes.
There you go. It should be an interesting one tonight. Unfortunately, with what we had planned has been put back a week due to legal and technical hold-ups. But once that's out of the way, we'll be able to rock and roll with that next week. So tonight, we're just going to be talking about the stream and what people would like to see going forward. So kind of like a bit of a live customer service survey.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the plan.
Based
you have
on
a beautiful
feedback,
box.
based on feedback from other videos, do more very simple, straightforward, introductory how to play these games. There's not enough of them. They're not detailed enough, and they're not literally grassroots enough. And that I hear that a lot. And I actually just heard that in a comment on a video from Mantic Monday with it. Why does nobody do this? Why does nobody do good quality, straightforward? You'd like to play this? Let's start with like 2 guys and we'll show you how to play this.
Yeah, cool.
But anyway, that's not why you're here. You're here because you're a genius, okay? Well, okay, you've read the book. You've read the book. This is a first for me and a first for, well, I don't know if it's a first for you. You've already unboxed this, but you haven't unboxed it with somebody who's kind of going to go, ha, class, and lots of other girly noises, or of course open it and go, really? That's it?
I promise you won't have that reaction.
Probably not. No one you. But thank you very much. This has arrived, and I have been a very good boy. I have literally only taken the cellophane off now to see.
I don't believe you. I think you're lying.
No, and in fact, look, just for your benefit, okay? Just for your benefit, because what I'm holding off on, look.
Hey, look at that.
And the cellophane's still on it.
Like when I pick stuff up from the post office, it's unwrapped before I've even got home.
No, my problem is I would like literally want to start building, and then it would be like, but I've opened that and I want to start building that as well, and I've opened that and I want to start, and that's the road to hell.
It is, yeah.
That's where you end up with measurements.
The beauty of Blood Red Skies is there's nothing to build.
Yeah, but the beauty of me is I would end up with measurements that have like rigging. That's what happened.
Why not?
So okay, I am going to lift the lid on the box on Black Sea. I'm just making sure I've got this in best position I can because it keeps moving. Well, the box keeps moving because I'm moving it, I suppose. It's a heavy box. I'm expecting.
It is a hefty box.
It is hefty. I have to say, I'm expecting a big map, big sea map. It's not really a map, is it? It's a gaming. It's a gaming sheet. But I'm expecting a huge one, and I'm expecting lots of cards and counters, and like a couple of boats.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh, hang on a minute. Despite everything else, my eyes immediately go, there's a spill of thread in here. What?
High quality nylon thread that as well, you know. It's not just any thread.
So we actually have to rig these.
You don't have to. Like, I'll point out, what I should have done is brought my boats out, but I haven't. What I have got is one that I'm in the middle of working on at the moment.
That's huge.
A Spanish first rate, which is like the biggest.
Yeah.
The biggest thing we do. Now.
Wow.
You'd be surprised how you don't miss the rigging when it's not there, but when it is there, it does add a lot to the way the ships look, which is great.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our spool of thread. Don't lose that.
And there is enough thread there, to be fair, to thread an actual, naval fleet.
Well, that's good because I've got a button coming a bit less in my waistcoat, so I can sort that out too. I'm going to guess that this is for smoke and fire.
That's exactly what it's for, yeah.
I'm assuming you can see what I'm doing, of course.
I can see the box pre you getting it out, so I can kind of anticipate, what you're about
You need
to do.
me to go slower to allow reality to catch up. I can do that.
Oh, it's fine. I'll improvise. It's all right.
So
for the fire is for fire, because boats can get set on fire, which is an awesome rule in the game. But the white fluff, wool, whatever you want to call it, is for indicating when a ship has fired its broadsides.
Of course.
So, because you can, the way the game works, and one of my favorite parts of the game, it's an integral part of the game, is the way ships activate. So if you imagine my little screen here is a playing surface, and let's say my head is a boat, and that orange cushion there is a boat. Okay.
Okay.
So the wind's coming from this top corner, and it comes this way like this.
Yep.
My head's going to activate, and then that cushion activates as the wind gets to it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, and obviously, as my head activates, my head could end up down here somewhere, and then it's past the boat, it's past the cushion. So as things are like moving around, you've got to be able to identify when ships have activated, and there's tokens in there to kind of put down to say that ship's activated. But what looks really nice is when you put the cotton wool down, and you can tell that the ship's fired its broadside. It just looks really cool.
I'm
for the fun factor.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that because obviously, when I've played Black Powder with my American Civil War, we would always put the white cotton wool down in front of the ranks that fired, and so who had fired, and also it obscured people, and apparently it really worked. It was a good way to not get shot, was to shoot lots, and then nobody could see where you were. Okay, these are gorgeous. These are
aren't they?
These are dinky gorgeous.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if I can do this justice actually because I've got a camera right here. It's just a case of where I put it is a bit weird because the angle's kind of funny. Camera. There we go. The folks at home I think can see this now quite well. I don't know obviously what ship I'm looking at. I'm looking at a one deck. Is that?
It's a frigate.
It's a frigate.
Fifth rate, sixth rate sort of frigate. So it's the largest ship in the box. There's 3 frigs. If you were playing this, if you're splitting this between 2 people, you'd have a frig each, and then 3 of the small ships, the brigs each. And then the 3rd frig would be used as like a like a scenario piece, like a merchant frigate, because there are scenarios in the rule book for capturing loot from merchant frigates and all sorts of stuff like that. So, alternatively, if you're buying this as a person for yourself, 3 frigs and 6 brigs is quite comfortably a decent sized fleet.
The wee brigs are lovely.
And there's not a million parts to them. Like there's a lot of stuff on there, but there's 3 alternate back plates, and then there's 3 alternate bow figureheads. One of which is a unicorn.
Oh yeah.
Every one of my frigs has a unicorn on the front. And then you've got the anchors. I've not put an anchor on one of my ships yet, which is awful, but just felt unnecessary for me.
Dude, that is.
Yeah, they're.
That is, and there's even a little. There's a little. Well, not little. They're quite big, but the ship's launch.
Yes. Yeah.
I always used to make the mistake of calling them lifeboats, and of course that was the last thing that they were for. The detail on the decks is tremendous.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Absolutely tremendous. And yeah, okay.
It They go together in all of about 5-10 minutes tops each. A few cheat sheets, for anybody that's watching this and watching it back in the future. Before you see, what I would do is I'd part assemble. So assemble a hole in the deck and get those together, but don't stick your masts in.
Right.
Put your masts in to spray prime, but once you've primed, pull the masts out of the little lugs that they go into, and then paint the decks, etc., separately, because trying to paint the deck around the sail, around the masts, is an absolute nightmare. I've been there. I've made that mistake. Don't make the same mistakes as me. Yeah, build your pre or part build, and then prime, and then it'll your life will be so much better that you can just paint your deck in one go, and away you are. You're done.
Good tip on that one. No, those
But yeah, they're lovely.
They really are. They really are. You just they I know it's silly because we want to play with all our toy soldiers, but you just want to play, and I mean literally. I want to build these and like go to the bath.
Yeah. Fill the deck with a bit of foam, just so that they float nicely. Bit of polystyrene in there.
That would work. That would work. Okay, so where next up is the instructions, and this must be a record for Warlord Games for the simplest sheet of instructions in the history of it, bar possibly your bolt action field guns that we have sat for half an hour going, where does this bit go? How does this go together?
And honestly, they are. That will be built in 5 minutes. It's literally bing, 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 bing. Pick the bits that you want to use. Away you go. And like I say, where you can see step 2, just don't glue your masts in.
Yeah.
Leave them loose. Spray it, and then take them out so that you can do your details before sticking them back in again.
Good call. Good call. Right. Yeah. Cool. Nice. Like that. So we've got D10s.
D10 system. It's lovely.
Always the sign of a proper game when you get D10s.
Yeah, it's such a beautifully simple rule set, and what Gabriel's done phenomenally well is the rules are split out between kind of your basic core rules, your additional rules, and your advanced rules, and you can kind of plug and play. You can grab what you want from each section and drag it into your game. And not one thing is reliant on another. So you can play it super simple, basic rules, be done with the game in half an hour. And you can grab some of the additional rules, some of the advanced rules, and play a kind of a more in-depth, longer game. And it's and I'm a big fan. It's probably top of my list of kind of favorite games to play, because I've never not enjoyed a game. You can play it with literally a ship each. And it's probably one of my favorite ways to play it is I'll have a frig and you have a frig, and we duke it out, and your game's done in 20 minutes. And there's not a lot of tabletop games you can get a lot of satisfaction out of playing a 20-minute game,
Well, no, and I suppose if you can't get that in a nautical game, because quite often you would have had engagements that were a little more than one vessel on one vessel.
Yeah.
And you've got to be able to capture that drama and excitement. Just giving due credit to our packer there.
Morella is a wonderful woman, and probably one of the best packers we've ever had. She's an absolute superstar.
So we have some rather nice cards, and I've got to say, fairly decent card stock. You have splashed out a bit this time, boys.
Yeah, the card stock for those is lovely, really, really nice, and everything you need to know is on those cards.
So talk us through a card here.
Okay, so they're double-sided, but both sides are exactly the same. If you I'll wait until I can see a card on the screen, and
Yep.
I'll talk you through it. But notice you've got that the triangle on the back. That's distinguishing the turning arc. So red is 45 degrees, and then a yellow would be, I think it's 30 degrees.
Okay.
You'll see on the card punch-out sheets that the rulers all indicate, and there's a turning gauge and all that sort of stuff, but I'll reference them later. You've got two cannons there. They are two, I want to say they're light cannons for the brigs. I believe they are. So that's basically saying each broadside has two light cannons. That determines what like basically what the damage you do, and so on and so forth when you roll your dice.
Okay.
You've then got the speed, which is behind the sail there. So you've got the 5 on that sail silhouette. That means the ship can move 5 inches per level of sail. So if it's at light sails, it can only move 5 inches. If it's at battle sails, which is kind of your medium speed, it moves at 10 inches. Or if it's traveling at full sail, it's 15 inches. So you just each level of sail gives you 5 inches of movement. Within the wheel, you've got the hull points for the ship, so it has 20 hull points. Now, what's worth remembering is your hull points are like a representation of not just the ship's integrity, but also the crew as well. You'll use the hull points, obviously, for determining the health of the ship, but also if you go into a boarding action, the hull points determines how many dice you roll for when you're doing ship to ship boarding actions and fighting it out on the decks, etc. And then below that you've got the level of hull points. If you drop below 7 on this one, you've got a test to strike your colours, to kind of your breaking point.
Cool.
And if you fail that test, the ship strikes its colours, you've surrendered, and then there's a chance that an enemy ship could capture your vessel by performing a boarding action on a ship that struck their colours. And there's a little campaign system in the back of the rulebook that kind of talks about capturing ships, and it, true of the period, they would capture a ship and sell it back to the Admiralty. And then the ship would get repurposed and sent back out under different colours. And that's it in a nutshell. You've got your sliding, this is where I'm going to make myself look like a right idiot with Mr. Teacher here.
Do you want me to
You've got
sing something really loudly so it hides what you're going to say?
your tens and your decimals. So across, the bottom and the top there. And those little sliders on the wake sheets below, they kind of punch out and you can track them along. But you've got options. If you pop them into a clear sleeve, you could use a whiteboard marker to kind of identify, where, what points you've got left. I've seen people use paper clips and so on and so forth. So it's just a way of tracking the ship's health and integrity.
Cool. Okay. Well, there's them little tokens on the screen now, and then obviously the I think those are the wake markers, aren't they? Depending on what seal you're at.
They are indeed. Originally designed to go underneath the boats, and they look like a wake then, and you basically slide it backwards and forwards to represent what sail that the ship is currently sailing at. What I tend to do, and what I found most people tend to do, is they will slide it under the card instead, so that you're not having to kind of lift your ship up and fanny around with your ships a lot on the tabletop. So exactly like that. Yeah.
That's funny. That's instinctively what I thought I would do with it.
Yeah.
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 It makes sense. Then that's off table a wee bit, and you're not disrupting the action on the board. Those are cute. And then those are obviously for the brigs, and these are for the frigate, the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Because the frigates are bigger, so they've got bigger wake.
There you go. Yeah.
Now the bit that I think I will cry over are these riggings, because these are actual riggings. These are the yeah. Oh my word! Are these transfers or are these plastic?
No, it's acetate.
They're acetate. Look at that.
Yeah.
So it's actually an acetate sheet. Wow.
Yeah. So you're just gonna you're going to cut them out, super glue them to the ship, and away you go. It's it's really that simple. I recommended to people in the past of cutting a couple of slots so that it can sit over the cannons. I've made some ships with them. I've made some ships without them. You don't notice them when they're not there, but when they're on the ships, they look lovely.
No,
it's just a little bit of added detail.
I am sorry, but I have to, and now don't take this the wrong way. This is one of the single most impressive things I've seen in ages. That is just pure genius. Don't fiddle about. Yeah, don't fiddle about with a wee plastic bit. Don't fiddle about with string and thread trying to do this. Oh, why don't we stick them on clear plastic and then you just cut them out? There we go. Look at that. Job done.
Yeah.
That whoever came up with that, I don't know. Make them a coffee tomorrow. That's class.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, they're there if you want to use them. You don't have to use them. They do look lovely when they're on there, but you don't tend to miss them too much without. It depends on the level of hobby. Are you more invested in your building and your painting than you are your gaming, or vice versa?
So we have on screen now for the peeps at home. We have Black Sea's Royal Navy flags and Black Sea's Royal Navy flags. 2 sheets of black. All right, because of the number of boats, yes, you would need duplicates of it. Yes. French Navy. There we go. Because I can't read words.
Yeah, you got your French Navy and you got your Royal Navy. Loads of ensigns in there. There's also some Jolly Roger symbols, which is great. If you want to do some pirates or privateers, you can stick some black flags on there.
Oh, I'm so having a black pearl.
If you head over, there you go. Yeah, if you head on over to the Warlord Games Black Seas Facebook group, Gabriel is really active in there, and he's loaded up loads of alternate flags for Dutch, East India, West India Company, East India Company, Russian flags, etc. Because the ships are all the same, like apart from things like the Lorient and Victory, etc. A frig was a frig, a third rate was a third rate, and they were all built to a pretty standard design. So it is literally just a matter of changing out your flags for whatever nationality you want to sail as.
Those are really nice. Paper, so you can kind of go crazy with them. I've done paper flags before, and I think I found that once I had them on, I kind of went over them in like PVA glue, because that then kind of just I could pose them. I could not pose them. Pose them is the wrong word. I could bend them.
Yeah, manipulate them.
Aye, and then they stuck to sort of the shape that I wanted better. So no, that's a nice one. I was just trying to put up there for people's benefit, but I don't actually have the name. But you'd mentioned obviously the Black Seas Facebook group, but it's not playing ball for me. My little font thing's not working, because I've discovered that while we're chatting, I can actually, as much as I was able to fix little image bits quickly, I can bring new text onto the screen as well, and ticker tape and stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so but it helps to know about these things beforehand. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, because I'm conscious of your time here too, so we've got seals.
No, you're right. Don't rush, dudes. Honestly, don't rush.
So these are cardboard. I think, are they cardboard? Yeah, they are cardboard.
The punch outs.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yes. Sorry, the sails. Yeah.
Yes.
So we do we do like a myriad of different designs now. We've got red ones, we've got tattered ones. I think we might have some black ones. And then so they punch out. And what I would recommend is you wrap them around the end of a paintbrush handle, and attach them with PVA glue, or maybe put a drop of super glue on first, and then go back over it with a little bit of PVA, because the PVA will mean that the sails stick to the masts a lot better than they do with super glue. I super glued mine, and I've knocked a load of them off whilst playing. And then in the end, I went back over, and just a little drop of PVA means they bond a lot better. But yeah, again, it takes a lot of effort out of it. All you're having to paint are your actual boats, and the sails for the full ship, every mast. Yeah, nice and easy.
Yeah, very good. And there is a couple of versions in there. There's the kind of nice new pale sails, and then there seems to be a set which are slightly older, tattered. So that's nice.
Yeah, this is the darker ones.
Yeah. Nope, so that's good. Okay, that's a lot of stuff already. So here we are with what I did expect to find quickly, which is the mat. How big is this sea mat?
It's huge.
Yes.
In fact, I would get it out, and if you can hold it up to your camera, because this thing is massive.
It's double-sided.
It is double-sided, so you've got like a Pacific lighter sea theatre,
Okay,
and then
there
a very
we go.
kind of.
I'm here. I'm all at sea. For scale comparison, there's my head.
Yeah, it's like A0 maybe.
That's about. Oh, that must be about. It's just shy of 4x4.
I think it's 3 foot by 4 foot, give or take.
That would ring true, and it's got deep sea or deep ocean, and then like shallows or closer to shore type of thing.
Yeah, or even maybe something that's a bit more Mediterranean perhaps, rather than quite a dark, deep Pacific mat. But yeah, and it's very fit for purpose. It's a good big mat. You'll never need anything bigger than that, really. We do sell some like mouse mat material mats as an alternative. But yeah, it's perfectly serviceable as a plain mat.
Yeah, that's nice. There's a little bit of wave, and there's a bit of variation going on it too. There's some bigger waves going on here. It's not just repeat. There's light reflecting in different points of it. There's slight tonal differences. It's maybe not doing it justice under my harsh lights here, but yeah, dare I say it, they're not terrain features as such, but there is something to keep the eye distracted as well.
That's it, yeah.
And as if that wasn't enough, of course, granted, I haven't found the rulebook yet, but this appears to be a hefty big chunk of card terrain and tokens.
Yeah. So the terrain is reversible. So on one side of the terrain you've got the lighter coloured sea, and then on the other side you've got the darker sea, and then you've got another sheet which is all tokens, and the tokens are everything from range rulers to your wind gauge to your turning gauge, and then you'll see there's a load with different shot on them, or cannonballs for the layman's terms. And you can equip your ships with different shots. So you've got chain shot, you've got hot shot, you've got grape shot, and you've got I think it's full shot. And they all have different in-game effects.
It looks like we've got grape shot, standard shot, chain shot, and fleet fire shot. I'm sure there was a more technical name for it than that. I seem to remember.
Hot shot. I like hot shot.
You could go with hot shot, but that casts up images of F-22 fighters and things like that. Sorry, just to get back to these terrain tiles here. What I've noticed here, folks, this is actually forced. So this looks to you at home like an island. It's actually splits into 4. So you can have one big island, or you could just have a corner over the map, or you could have half an island. There's sandbanks here. There's rock outcrops sitting there as well. And there's jungly bits and things. I'm noticing by the size of the lighthouse on this, where obviously, I'm sure there is an official scale for this, but it looks to be very small. Like what? what is this? Like
700?
1 to 1. I always go wrong with scale. 1 to 100 is quite big compared to this, so it's like what? 1 to
It's
1,000 or
1
something?
700th.
1/700th?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we do any buildings in 1 to 700th scale?
Hang on a second.
That was a question. It might have sounded facetious, but it didn't mean to.
I have.
He's got the lighthouse. Look at that.
How cool is that?
That is so
And
cute.
then if I grab the, I mean, granted, this is a very big boat.
Yes.
But there's a bit of a scale comparison for you.
Okay.
And then we do a scenery box, which is this here, and it comes with some really, really cool things.
Oh, look at that.
So you'll notice on that sheet you've got the Martel Tower.
Yep. We've got one of them.
Some gun emplacements, rocky outcrops, and then a couple of sunk ships. So a third rate and a brig, I think, is what's in there. Or it might be a frig and a brig. I can't remember. But,
Nice.
Yeah.
I now want to take this down to our tower in County Down and play it in it because we've got an intact one.
Really awesome.
Yeah, so I say in County Down. It's not. It's in County Londonderry. I'm talking through my backside. It's up north and over that direction.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, come over and we'll take you to it. Once.
That sounds good. In fact, I like the idea of playing a game of Black Seas on the top of it.
Yeah, we're going to have to find out. That'll be the Northern Ireland National Trust or something. We'll get onto them and see if we can sort something out. That'd be class.
I'm sure I can sell them some Black Seas whilst I'm out there as well. So we can call it a work trip.
There's nobody there. It's literally like locked up, and you can go do it, and it's open at certain times. And it's such a lovely thing. I think because it's right next to McGabry Prison, from what I remember.
Okay.
So it's not exactly a tourist hotspot. It's like, what's that there? That's a prison. All right. And what's that? That's Napoleon's wee tower. Right. Anyway, digress. So there's the tokens for the people at home. For the people who like the technical side of things, there's your token sheet to catch up. And then finally, the last thing that anyone needs in a war game, the rulebook.
Which is, again, without blowing our own trumpets, it's a beautiful, beautiful rule book. Very well laid out. There's loads of really cool scenarios in there. There's all the rules you need for the different nationalities. Loads of stats for different ships. Everything from first rates all the way down to gunships. It's awesome.
That does. I love this in a rule book when there's plenty of really clear visuals highlighting.
Yeah.
I'm telling you about a thing, I'm explaining it and giving an example, and look, I'm showing you what I mean. Because obviously, as you well know, everyone learns in different ways, and getting that marriage of visual and text is always nice. This does look rather lush. And I'm taking it. I'm sort of glancing, obviously, as I'm flicking through it. But there's little pull-out bits. There's little bits of history tucked in here too, as well. It's not just all fun and games.
Yes. Yeah, there's loads. In fact, as you get near the back end of the book, there's a lot about naval terms. The makeup of a ship of the line and all that sort of stuff. What went on each deck, etc., etc. It's lovely, and obviously even in things like the raking fire section, you've got a little bit about why raking fire was so devastating before it then tells you these are the rules for raking fire.
Yeah, see, folks.
There you go. There's the page of the breakdown of the victory. I know I'm a little bit behind, but yeah.
No, that is, and a wee painting guide at the back too. I missed that in a lot of games.
And there's a rigging guide.
There's a rigging guide. Is he having a laugh, mate? Is he having a laugh? Rigging guide. There we go. There is a rigging guide, folks. I jest ye not. I nearly used a different type of expletive. But there we go. Rigging in a series of not 1, not 2, not 3, but 7 easy steps.
Yeah.
7 convenient steps to
That's
putting
not 7 steps. It's nothing. It's single figures, you know.
this from a guy who probably still tries to get away with having 3 colours on his models.
On all of my boats, I have only rigged the front bit that holds the sails. The rest
Ah,
of them's completely unrigged.
you're a shocking fella. You're a shocking fella.
Yeah.
Well, look,
I'm
that.
gonna rig my
Uh,
I'm gonna rig my Spanish first rates though. They'll be rigged properly.
But there we go. That is what you get inside the base set for Black Seas, which I shall cease calling Black Sails. But of course, the result is that because of Black Sails, what I want to do is have a pirate fleet, and I want to lay
Of course you
siege
do.
to coastal castles and blow them up. So I now need coastal
Yeah.
castles. So that's the next one. Monday morning thinking tank at Warlord Games. I think we need some castles and coastal defences for Black Seas, and we possibly need ships like what they had in Assassin's Creed.
I mean, yeah, yeah. You own a 3D printer, don't you?
Shh, shh. Yes, I do. Yes, of course I can print these things out, but I would rather support local industry instead of trying to become one.
Well, if you decide to print any little coastal villages, I'm all in.
I will.
Uh,
I might after tonight's game take a look and see if there are any 1 to 700 scale coastal villages.
there you go. Yeah. Well, if
I
they're not, you can just scale it down. Just
well no, I
just
was yeah, I was literally going to say I'm quite chuffed myself. Somebody had done this really nice miniature of, you'll not know what this is, the Kreller machine from, it was from Doctor Who, Third Doctor.
okay.
This machine had a human brain in it, sucked all the bad thoughts out of prisoners in a prison, but it became super evil, and then it made people do bad things, right? But he made this for like the
Yeah.
action figures. And I shrunk it down to 28 mil, and it looks class. It's still got all the details. I'm like, oh, far too excited about
Yeah.
that. So yes, a little coastal village is doable, and I'll tell you what, if I find one, there'll be one coming your way. Speaking of one coming your way, and as we're wrapping up here, did a certain Steve Morgan sort something your way? Did he? Good, because you failed me for the last time, Commander. I had to go over your head.
You did. You went right over my head.
Yes, and if I'm going to go over your head, I'm going to the tallest guy in the room, and that's Steve Morgan.
But yeah, why not? You can't miss Mr. Morgan. But yeah, he sent me a message. I was like, he's got past my defences.
Yes. Yes.
So yes,
Oh,
it
that's.
might be amusing.
Listen, you're up against the Irish. You're never going to win. All right, just you might get a victory, but you're never going to win.
I've got a couple of little things to whet your appetite for Black Seas, though, the future of Black Seas as well, and you're gonna love this.
Where
I
away?
can guarantee that.
Jaws. It is
Well,
Jaws.
let me get some scale in here for you. So,
okay, it's not Jaws. It's that mega shark from the Jason Statham film.
It's a megalodon.
It's a
Now,
megalodon.
It gets weirder and more wonderful than that.
Okay, sea serpent, of course.
Yeah, and there is a Moby Dick, essentially. A giant whale. There's a giant narwhal. There's obviously going to be a kraken because how could you
Cthulhu.
not? And I think I'm forgetting one more. I think there's a giant squid or something like that in amongst it. So there's going to be a box of monsters for use in Black Seas,
So there'll be Leviathans.
which will have their own rules. And yeah, I think there's a Leviathan. But yeah, so it's all designed as like, here's a way of bringing something a little bit more weird and wonderful to your Black Seas. But I've seen people paint the boats as ghost ships. It actually, as a game, it got my little brother back into toy soldiers after about 10 years out of the hobby. And he's painted a fleet of, like, it's a shanty town on the sea. Every boat's a different color, but it looks fantastic when you lay it out. Greens, blues, pinks, purples.
He's done Waterworld black powder.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's a great game. Honestly, it's so much fun to play, and maybe that's something we could do. Maybe we can get a little game going via Zoom in a couple of weeks' time. I'll set up a small table and we'll just play with a frig each, and I
Yeah.
can take you through the basics of how to play the game.
Oh, if we're really clever, we can have like my table leading up to the camera and your table leading away from it.
Let's not overdo it. Let's not overstretch ourselves.
Dude, you've got to push yourself. Come on. Week on week, you just turn up and talk. We've got to take you to the next level.
Yeah. You sound like somebody else I do a stream with in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, just think
no,
about that.
let's just keep it sensible.
No, don't keep it sensible. Go mad. The people want mad. That's what they're asking for. No, they're not asking for it. I think, to be honest, I think people appreciate the level of sense and sensibility and decorum that you and I bring to proceedings.
Yeah, of course.
I said that with a straight face. Dear goodness. Folks, look, there we have it, because this poor chap, Charlie's going to have to run because he's not even going to have time to go to the loo now before he goes live on Twitch. Make sure you go over to Warlord Games and watch the Twitch. Even if you've missed this, you're watching this later, go and join up the Twitch, subscribe to them. It's great crack. You get an awful lot more insight into the games. They go to great lengths to try and bring everyone across, and of course you can interact with them if you're signed up as well. You can ask questions, you can say I love your hair and things like that there, and they really appreciate that. Ollie Oliver, Black Seas, fantastic game, and this box is great value. Yep, gonna have to agree with you wholeheartedly there, good sir. This one definitely has made me smile. In all honesty, the thing that wins me over, and I know this is trivial, it's the acetate rigging. That I just went, that is a stroke of absolute genius. Full marks to the person who came up with that, because that's a winner in anybody's book for that, definitely.
It definitely is.
Get over to Warlord, check it out. There will always be little offers and things going on. They do little fleet boxes and squadrons, and every time somebody has a birthday, they seem to give a discount on things and all that madness. They are stretched out, so do bear in mind if you're ordering anything. There might be wee delays still at the minute, just until normal service resumes, but they are doing their best. And a big thank you to everybody there who's doing their part over at Warlord. Charlie, it has, as always, been an absolute pleasure. I thought, you and I always have good crack, we always have good chat, but I just thought, I've been doing you a wee disservice. We haven't really meat and bones very much Warlord. We've talked around Warlord. And I thought that it was about time we actually give you an evening where we get excited, both of us at the same time, over one thing. And thanks to you, Black Seas is something I can get excited about with. You've done this, of course, to distract me from the fact that you haven't lifted a finger to your Soviets. See? Told you, folks.
But next week we can look at Blood Red Skies.
Oh, so there's 2 weeks. So by then you'll have 40 Soviets painted, yes?
I'm going to find the paint them for me, I think.
Oh, you big cheater. Why don't you just give in and do winter Soviets, then you can just spray them all white?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. But what I might do is just get some flock and just dump them all in snow, and they can just be wading through, foot deep snow and stuff. That'll be fine.
Yeah. I can't wait to be you when you go into work tomorrow after having suggested that as a hobby technique. In fact, you might even get pulled on it later on tonight, depending. Right, folks. He's going to need to run. He's literally got 10 minutes. It's been a pleasure to everybody. Thanks for watching, folks. Tune in again next week where we'll do some stuff, and we will be talking and unboxing Blood Red Skies, and I will do my best to come up with a different name for it, just like Black Seals, which is actually Black Seas, but I've trained myself to stop calling it that. Thanks for watching. Be good, be kind, look after each other. Say bye-bye to Charlie.
Thank you.